Hi guys, this is Dennis from Spec Studios, and this is part 2 of the teleport tutorial, and we're going to start writing the scripts now. We have one teleport, which we did in the previous part, and go to the scripts folder, right click, create C# script, and let's name it teleport actions _ CS for C#. This will be the actual teleport script which will be controlling everything for the teleportation. Let's select the teleport, and we can actually select the prefab and assign that script there, so we can have it in our prefab. Double click on the script, and I'm just going to delete this for now. I hope you see it well. It's pretty big. Okay. Let's start with, actually let's make public variables and private variables. So we need a public boolean which will be isOpen. This is going to be controlled by the other teleports. So this will control if the teleport is open or not, and when we teleport from one teleport to another, the teleport that is teleporting us to the other one will tell to the next one that it should open. Okay, it might sound confusing now, but we will see it when we continue with the code. We need public transform teleport position. That will be the position for the teleportation. You know, we made empty game object. That will be our position for the teleportation. So this is we're going to just reference it. You know, the direct references are the most faster, instead of searching them with the code or something like that. We need public game object activate trigger. Now this one is for the two triggers that are telling the teleport it should be active, but when the teleport is closed, we don't need to be visible at all, so we're going to disable them. And actually we need one more, which I'm going to put here, which is public teleport actions C#. We're going to make that script in just a moment, and we're going to name that other site. Oh, actually this is the script, sorry. This is going to reference the other teleport that we want to go. So from that script we're going to take the teleport position, so we're not going to reference the actual teleport, but we're going to reference its script. So from its script we're going to get the position that we want to teleport. So these three are the public variables. For the private variables, we need a box collider, which we'll name box call. We need animator, which we'll call anim. That's for controlling the animations. Which we need private transform player trans. This is for our player. We're going to reference the player transform. We need private boolean, which is active, and we're going to initialize that to false, so the teleport is going to be deactivated at start, inactive at start. And finally we need private player move script, and we're going to name that player control. We need a player move to disable the to disable the player movements while we are in the teleportation process. Let's make an awake method, if I can make it right. Okay. Now the box collider, we're going to say get component box collider. We're going to reference the box collider, and now we're going to reference the animator to control the animations. We need start function. In the start we're going to disable the activate triggers at start because we don't need them. So if the teleport is closed, the triggers are deactivated, and we're going to say if is open because we need to have one of the teleports open at start. Okay, so if we have two teleports like this, they will be closed at start, so you see this, but one of them have to be open, so we need the first teleport in which we have to enter. That's why we need to check which one we are setting up as open. That's why we made that boolean public, so when we tick it's open, it's going to be open that teleport. Has not been assigned. Oh yeah, we haven't assigned it, nothing, but we're going to fix that in a moment. If is open, we're going to make one method in a moment. We're going to call it open teleport, and we're going to make activate teleport, and we'll set that to true. What are these two? We're going to actually write them now. The first one we're going to write now, which will be public void open teleport. In this one we just want to open the teleport, so we're going to say enum that set bool, the name of the boolean open teleport, and we'll set it to true. Now with this we're going to actually start the animation for opening the teleport. We're going to make one coroutine for the colliders so they can get activated after the teleport is opened and not before. So while the teleport is getting opened, we don't want these to be activated because we just want to give it some time before actually the activation of the trigger here. So we'll make I'm just going to write this now, and then I'm going to make the other stuff. Start coroutine collider switch, which will be false, and then we're going to say activate trigger that set active true. So we're going to activate the triggers here. Now we'll make one enumerator here, which will be called collider switch, and we need the state. Now here actually we don't need that, we're just going to comment it out for now. Here in the numerator we're going to say yield return new wait for seconds, and we'll set that to 0.2 for now, and we'll say box collider that enabled equals state. So now we're calling the start coroutine with collider switch to false, and we're going to wait to 0.2 seconds until the teleport gets opened, and then we're going to disable the box collider because now the box collider is preventing us from getting inside the teleport. So when we open, we don't need the box collider to be enabled anymore. And then we're going to say activate trigger that set active, and we'll set that to state, do the opposite, so the activate triggers gets activated. Instead of activating them here, we're going to activate them after the box collider is disabled. So when the teleport is open, we are going to disable the box collider and enable the activate triggers. Now we need the activate teleport method. We'll set that to public void not bool activate teleport, and actually we need a state which will be bool state, and now here we'll say is active equals state. Now since we have the method for the opening of the teleport, we're going to make another one for the closing of the teleport, which is doing pretty much the same thing but with opposite values. So we're going to say anim that set float open teleport, which will be false, so we can trigger the close animation. And then we'll say collider switch, and this time we'll set it to true. So now when we close the teleport and we call this one, we're going to set the box collider to be enabled. After the closing, we're going to enable the box collider, and then we're going to disable the activate triggers. So when the teleport is closed, we can't get inside and we can't activate the triggers. Now we need two more methods. Right here, after the start, we're going to write public void start teleportation. Let me check what's going on in Unity. We have some errors. The best overloaded, anim set float open teleport to false. And why is this string float has some invalid arguments? Set bool, not set float. Yeah, set bool. It's a boolean, and we don't. It's a boolean. We can't adjust it with a float. Start teleportation. Now the start teleportation, we're going to check if the teleport is active. If it's not active, we don't want to teleport anything. Actually, for the start teleportation, we're going to need the transform of the player, which will be sent from the, which will be got from the trigger. That's actually triggering the teleportation. So we're going to say transform player, and here we'll say player trans, which is our, since this transform player is a local variable and it will be seen only in the start teleportation method. That's why we have player trans. So player trans is equal to player. This is how we are assigning the transform of player to a global variable that can be seen inside the whole script. So when we reference the player, we're going to get the player controller. The player controller will be equal to player trans that get component player move C#. Now we reference the player script. Now we say player control that can move equals false. This is why we need the can move on the player. Now when the teleportation starts, we immediately disable the movement of the player, so the player can't move. And now we're calling close teleport to close the teleportation, and then we're going to have one more coroutine, which will be called teleport, which will do the actual teleportation of the player, which will do the movement. So we'll type start coroutine, and we'll name it just teleport, like this. And here we'll say enumerator teleport. Okay, now this is the starting of the teleportation. This is the actual teleportation. So here we're going to say that we don't want that teleport to be active anymore, since it started the teleportation and we don't want it to be active. So to avoid double triggering or double starting, we're going to say activate teleport, and we'll set that to false. This is the first thing we're going to do. After that, we're going to wait for some time, which will be 0.5 seconds, and then we're going to say player trans that position will be equal to other site that teleport position that position, and this one is the position for the teleportation, you know, the teleport position. There is it. and if we select here the teleport quickly, we can just, let me delete that one. If we select that teleport quickly, we can just say teleport position, and we take this one and place it here. Activate triggers are the group with the 2 triggers, so you can select it and place it here, and this is just going to be the other side. Now you can apply to the prefab, so we have these both. Now the teleport position is just the position that we will teleport our player, and this is what we say here: player trans that position equals to other side that teleport position that position. Now the player is moved to the other side, and now we're going to enable the collider of the closed teleport. So we're going to say start coroutine, enable collider switch to true. This is once the player has been moved from this teleport, we want to enable its collider, so it's closed and we can't enter in it. And then we'll do another yield. Let me just copy this line. We'll do another yield and we'll wait like 0.4 seconds. I've been testing this and that's why I know, that's how I know the numbers. And we'll say other site, which will be the other teleport, that open teleport. And this is pretty much that method. And we're calling that method from the teleport that is we're entering to the teleport that will exit. So this one, all the teleports have the opening and the closing methods, and they will be calling them from the start to the exit. And we're going to say other site open teleport, and then we'll say other site that activate teleport to false. So the other teleport is not active. We just have to make sure, in case the other teleport is active for some reason, it should not be, but in case if it's, now we're going to say in case the other teleport is active for some reason, to avoid cycle, just to be sure. Okay, now we'll make another yield and we're going to wait for 0.2 seconds, and then we can say player control that can move equals true. This is to enable the player controller, but we're going to just give it some short amount of time just to be sure that everything is right. We're going to save this, and let's see what's going on. We have some more stuff to write, but I'm just going to check. I'm just going to select this one and tick that is open. I will select the second teleport and we'll apply the first one as the other side. I'll select the first one and we will apply the second for the other side. Now if I play, the teleport opens, and oh, these two have to be triggers, sorry. Just select the teleport, to go to the activate trigger, select left, and then select the prefab, set it to is trigger, select the right trigger, select the prefab is trigger. Okay, now we're going to play again. Now we're not going to teleport since we don't have the trigger, and what we have to do now is simply add script for the trigger. Now one moment, and that script will be pretty short. I'm just going to save the scene. Let's open the scripts. Let's create new C# script and name it teleport trigger C#. We're going to apply that to the teleport trigger game object. So we're going to select the prefab, apply the teleport trigger, and so all of the prefabs that are instantiated in the scene should have it. And then let's double click on that script. Let's delete these two. I'm just going to make one public teleport actions C#, which we'll call teleport. This is to reference the parent, because we need it. And we'll say void on trigger enter collider other. This is when something enters that trigger. And we'll say if other that tag is equal to player, we'll say teleport, yeah, teleport that start teleportation order that transform, and we're going to send the transform of our player. And when we say start teleportation, here you see that when we start the teleportation we need the actual transform of the player, and that's why we are applying it to the player trans, which we later on use to move the actual player from the first teleport to the second teleport. That's it for that script. We can move back to Unity and make sure that the teleport trigger is actually a trigger as well. Yeah, it's a trigger. So when we start and when we go inside, object reference not set, yeah, it's not set because we have to set the teleport. Now select the teleport trigger, select the prefab, and then reference its parent. So select the actual teleport and reference it here. Now when we open and we select the teleport trigger, we can see that we have it here. We'll play, we don't have errors, and we have actually teleportation. Now we don't have on the other side for some reason, because that teleport is deactivated. It's deactivated because if it's not, let me show you something quickly. If it's not activated and start teleportation, teleport other side that open teleport, other side that activate teleport. Now if we comment out that line to deactivate the other teleport, and I'm not sure if this is going to work, but we'll see. Oh, it's not, because that teleport is deactivated by default. So pretty much if we don't have this one deactivated, the ball will come here and then it will go back and then it will come here again. We're going to fall in a cycle, which is not good. So let me just show it to you quickly. If here I'm saying is active equals false, so if I say is active equals true, let's say that you want them both to be active all the time, you know, so if you don't have these triggers. Now if I enter the first one, it closes, and then our player is teleporting here. Okay, but as soon as it teleports here, it's activating the trigger for the teleportation, and since this is active as well, it will immediately activate it to the other side again. And now this is getting deactivated because this one is calling here to be deactivated, but if it doesn't call, it will start cycling all the time, and now you can't use anything because this one is open but the box collider is visible, is enabled, and if we enter this one is deactivated because the ball actually have to be here. So this is why we need the triggers to activate the teleport once the player is have exited when the teleportation happens, and we'll do that in a bit.